It is the Visit Oceanside post show here at the SAMBAZON World Junior Championships, hosted by Best Western Day 1 action in beautiful Oceanside, California, the North Shore of San Diego. And we were greeted with an idyllic California day, sunshine, light offshore winds. A little bit of swell greeted us as well as we got into our opening day, our opening round here. Kuiper Guerrero, along with the wonderful Rosie Hodge and my good friend and nephew, Mitchell Salazar. And Mitchell, I'm going to start with you. I was so impressed on what I saw today from all of these 20 and under pro juniors.
So was I. I had such a good time today, honestly. Like, the waves showed up. I didn't think we were going to run today, if I'm honest. That the forecast said 1 to 2, and next thing you know, we show up and there's actual waves. But the performances today, especially on the women's side, that last heat, that 8.0 by Annette was really impressive. But what a day, what a fun one, Kaipo, to start things off.
Yeah, well, it was a fun one. Any highlights for you, Rosie?
Oh, man, so many highlights. I mean, just from the start of the morning with the men's division, then rolling into the women's. I mean, a few of the excellent rides that we saw today and the clutch performances from Erin Brooke especially. Yeah, Sierra Kerr was definitely a highlight for me.
Yeah, it was impressive to me, Mitchell, to see, you know, the depth that we see now with all of these young surfers from all over the globe.
Yeah, and how many close heats we had, too. I mean, a lot of people losing out with 13, 14 points, you know, and Erin Brooks right at the end snatching that win away from Janita. Yeah, I thought that was one of the more standout heats. I thought Levi Slauson surfed great. He eventually lost to Marlon Harrison, though, so a couple of upsets today, too, Kaipo.
Yeah. Well, let's go to our last winner of the day, and she did it in excellent fashion. 8-point ride for Annette Gonzalez Etxabarri. She's with Matt Shanoski.
Annette, an amazing, excellent score on that 8-point ride. Talk us through that. What was going through your mind and how do you feel after it?
I was kind of scared in the wave because, like, I thought, like, fuck, this is the set. I have to do, like, good to pass my heat because I was need, like, a 4 or something. So the first turn, I, like, lost my control, but, yeah, good.
Well, you made up for it and then some. Tell us a little bit about your equipment you chose for California. Bring any step-up boards or all just small wave surfboards?
Yeah, I just bring some small boards for this con because it was like small and one epoxy, and yeah, that's it.
And anyone back home cheering you on or anyone over here supporting you for the World Junior Championships?
Yes, my family. Can I say it in Basque?
Absolutely.
Eskerrik asko ikusteatik da hurrengoan ikustea.
Perfect. And anything else? Like, how are you feeling coming to this event right now? This is the World Junior Championships. You have a chance to walk away with a crown. What would that mean to you to go home as a victor?
I don't know. It's my first time here competing in a World Junior Championship. So I'm excited and I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Excitement. Excellent ride. Kicking off her campaign. We're going to go back to finish this post show. We'll see you in the coming days.
Yeah, that was great, and I love the reaction there. Mitchell, we got a sister duo. We have both Annette and Janire, both sisters competing for a world title.
Yeah, and we saw Janita last year at Seaside, and what stood out was her style. It definitely stood out today. Had a good heat, but Erin Brooks just snatched the win at the very last second. I think Annette is a sleeper pick, though, to win this entire thing. If she keeps her confidence up, Kaipo, and if the waves stay under 6 feet, I feel like she's a strong contender to take this thing out.
Rosie, I think a lot of times that's what this event's all about, is discovering new names and new talents from all over the world. And I think we discovered another one.
Yeah, that was unbelievable surfing from Annette, but to know that her sister's also in the mix. And I watched that heat with Janere. I mean, the lead was changing hands between all three surfers. Erin Brooks went back-to-back with her waves and snatched that victory. But good depth of talent in that family.
Yeah, and speaking of Erin Brooks just hit the flux capacitor in the final minutes of her heat. Let's take a look at the win. Starting here with Kokona Kawase, who was in this heat, Mitchell.
Yeah, but nice Back to the Future reference right there, Kaipo. But Kawase had a good score at the beginning of the heat, a 7.17, and unfortunately for her, was leading the heat the majority of the time. I think she just got into a cycle where she kept finding the same wave over and over again and wasn't able to improve on her backup score. But Janita, she was making a huge comeback, as Rosie was mentioning, eventually moved up into the lead. And with this right, Rosie, she was cementing herself as the first place surfer to really make it towards the end of the heat right there.
Yeah, this one, and you could tell when she came in onto the beach chatting with her support crew, it stung. I mean, to be that close to making it through, and then Erin went with this aerial maneuver, which was so sick. The grab, the slob, made it, and this really started her comeback campaign.
6.27 for that move right there, and then she tapped it off here with an 8.33 to take a win, Mitch.
Yeah, and not only one of the most impressive waves we've seen all day long. How did she do it, though, in Saquarema, Kaipo, when we were there? Literally in the exact same way, right at the end with an excellent score, too.
Look at the numbers for Canada, Rosie. To 8.33, 6.27, and Erin Brooks continues to amaze us.
Yeah, and I love it. I loved in a post-heat interview, she said she doesn't get nervous, which is unique for someone in a competitive setting to not have nerves to manage. So that's a definite characteristic that's a strength for her, to not feel the heat of the moment, to be able to perform when it's such huge implications.
Yeah, let's look at men's opening round heat number 5. Joel Vaughan had a challenge with Brody Sale and Bonojo Yanagi, but it was an early start here. The Japanese surfer, Yahagi, had a couple scores at the beginning, but really, it was Joel Vaughan who stole this show, Mitchell.
Yeah, and Yahagi had a 6.0 and a 5.53. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to break anything better than the good range. I thought Brody Sale surfed great. I mean, he had a 6.17 and a 5.67 was the backup right here. Both on the right and the left equally as good, Kaipo. But it's his wave selection that really kind of let him down a little bit. Was chasing a lot of these sections right here, laid it on rail, but when it came to Joel Vaughan, he was just always on the better waves. And it came down to that Challenger Series experience to me.
Really, Rosie, Joel Vaughan, very patient in this heat. Didn't ride a wave, held on to that priority, but when he got to his feet, he made it count.
That's it, and we're just watching his wave there. That was a little sleepy at the start, but then he kind of telegraphed this move, and that's kind of what we've become used to with Joel Vaughan. It's just those big moves that he's able to produce at the drop of a hat. He finds the perfect section for them, and he's able to produce something out of nothing. Beautiful slicing maneuver, one of my favorites of the event today.
Yeah, we take a look at the numbers here. Joel Vaughan with the win, 14.442 wave total, 8.17. Went excellent on his way there. We're going to see him in the round of 16. Brody Sale, Bonojo Yahagi, they're going to battle it out when we reseed into that elimination round. That's going to be round 2 of competition. So really, when we look at today, we saw some of the highlights. We saw people who are going to skip into round 16. We haven't really eliminated anyone, Mitchell, but things are going to get real in the next round, because that's when we go head-to-head, and people are going to take L's. They're going to pack their bags.
Yeah, and I think most importantly, they're going to lose out on an opportunity to qualify for the Challenger Series too, which is really the whole point of this event. You want the prestige of being a World Junior Champion, but you don't want to have to do the regional QS if you don't have to. Both financially and just from a confidence perspective, you want to be able to decide your own fate here, Kaipo.
Yeah, that's right. Rosie, it's been a great day today, but let's take a look at what we have going on in the future. For that, we call up our friends at Surfline with Surfline forecast for the rest of this window here. Oceanside, Southside Pier. We can see the leftovers from the south. We got some fresh northwest swell coming in.
Yeah, and that's so nice just to see that combo of swell coming into this swell magnet. Oceanside just loves everything. It was interesting to see that little bit of south that we had in the water today, but I think as we get that combo of the northwest, that's really going to light this place up.
Yeah, that's really what this place wants. And you mentioned that south-southwest actually being in the water earlier today, Rosie. It was noticeable for certain waves, especially early on in the morning. Tomorrow looks fun, Kaipo, especially later on in the afternoon. I feel like that northwest wind will be picking up. It should get a little bit bigger, though. Thursday looks a little tricky, though.
Yeah.
Might be a little too strong on the onshore, but if it's contestable, I feel like that's going to be the biggest day.
Yeah, thank you to Surfline for their forecast, and that helps us navigate through everything. But looking pretty good. Like you said, some wins on Thursday might be challenging. But let's celebrate today. Let's celebrate with the wave of the day, the cup noodle wave of the day. Who could it have been? You got a guess, Rosie?
Was it the 833 of Erin, or was there... Oh, I'm scrambling. I'm scrambled eggs.
It was the 833.
Yes, you put me on the spot.
Brooks. And she was able to do that. Remember, she did this, really won the heat in the final 5 minutes of this matchup, Mitchell.
Yeah, and had a cool air before that too, but just the speed management to me is really what stands out so much from her. And just 16 years of age. She's only been surfing since the age of 9, too. I've seen people that have been surfing for 30 years and still can't do that, Kaipo.
Me. Thanks, Mitch.
Sorry, Rosie.
Okay, gang. I think it's time. It's always the time for our top 5 moments of today, our top 5 waves of the day, as we rewind everything and take a look at some of the highest numbers put in today by our junior competitors in these top 5 moments. Oceanside, Sierra Kerr, the combination, pretty good, number 5.
I mean, this to me was a highlight moment. Sierra Kerr, just seeing this glimpse of what she's capable of, a bit of a Steph-esque layback maneuver there. She was fire to watch today.
Mitchell, number 4, Jackson Bunch got lucky with a 7.77.
Well, he navigated the lineup so well, too, in this opening part of the heat. Came out guns blazing, especially in the first heat of the morning. Not easy to do. He mentioned this is probably the coldest place he's surfed in a competitive aspect. Kaipo looking good so far in the opening round.
Number 3, Rosie, Zoe Benedetto. She went excellent here.
Wow, an 8.0, an event wildcard, as well as her first time in the World Juniors event. So great to see her just come out with force.
Number 2, making North Shelley proud, Mitchell. Joel Vaughan, 8.17.
Well, and has something to prove too, Kaipo, because last year didn't make it out of the elimination round. So his last year as a junior right here in Oceanside, he's looking to win the entire thing.
Rosie, Erin Brooks, 8.33, number 1.
Oh, her
moment of the
ears
day.
must be burning. I mean, we've spoken about her so much today, but so impressive. And, you know, she'd be rolling out of bed and kind of walking down to the south side of the pier. She's at home here. She'd be feeling comfortable and definitely confident.
Do you feel proud, Rosie? I mean, I think Erin has looked up to you for most of her career. I mean, you must feel like a proud aunt right now a little bit.
I think the feeling's mutual. I mean, Erin, she's a teenager, but I draw inspiration from her. And I'm excited to see her in these events that have such magnitude because she's a young teenager. But to win a World Junior title at that age, that's huge.
Yeah.
With the peers that are in the mix, yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. We're going to find out tomorrow. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Mitchell, and thank all of you for watching the show. Remember, tune in to worldsurfleague.com. Likely, we are going to run tomorrow. Enjoy today's highlights, and aloha.
copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.